with the tissue and impress the opposition. Anyone try to touch, then he must get crushed. Saying you can get with us, that's ridiculous. Watch me break, hold, dominate the ring. Have him stunned like I hit him when they're knocking you out. Or I'm holding to the mat till I'm tapping you out. Tap out.
Welcome back to Dimitri's. I'm Mike Stitt and my partner here, Robert Rovita. We're bringing you the finals of SummerSlam 2003. It's the ultimate combat experience, Utah's toughest fighter. Robert, we've had a little bit of a strange round this round. We've had a lot of injuries. A lot of people had different things that conflicted. Like today, one of the guys in the finals, his grandfather had a heart attack. Really strange round. We've got some guys in the finals tonight that actually have losing records. But I think it's actually a testament to the fact that we've got a lot of tough fighters, and they're worthy of being in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, we've been a circumstance of bad luck, but things are going to pan out tonight. We've got a great main event.
You'll want to stick around for that. It's the ultimate combat experience coming right at you.
We're going to get things started tonight with what is listed as an exhibition match, but we actually would call this a championship fight, wouldn't we?
You know, when we put it on the schedule, Tim, this was an exhibition match, but Josh Berkman decided he needed a Las Vegas vacation, so he wasn't going to come to the finals. So Brandon Ploehn stepped up in his place and is going to fight for the title.
He comes in at 5'10", 205 pounds, out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and don't know a whole lot about this guy other than the fact that he's a doctor. And he likes to tell you that he's a doctor, and his opponent better watch out.
I've been absent for a while because this is my first time, but I feel pretty confident. I'd like to fight, my first time. I'm just ready. I got some wrestling background, but other than that, I got a day and a half of Jiu Jitsu. I hope that'll guide me in the right path. My opponent better know that I'm the doctor and I like to draw blood, okay?
He comes with scalpel in hand, evidently.
I guess, they list him out of Colorado. He's actually from the Sandy area. He went to Brighton High School. He's a wrestler up there. He's in the military with Hank Device Weiss over there in Colorado and wanted to come in and test his mettle in the ring like Hank and so many of his other boys have done.
How much jiu-jitsu can you learn in a day and a half? That's what I want to know.
Hank Device, man, might be enough.
Here's his opponent tonight, Brian Robsen, also 5'10". Gives up a little in weight, though. He's 198 and listed from Sacramento, California.
This kid actually is from Sacramento, California. He saw Lonnie Foster in one of the restaurants he runs over there and said, I recognize you from the TV show.
Know a little jiu-jitsu, wrestled in high school, and I'm going to bring the wrath. Yeah, I just met him today. I guess it's his first time fighting along with mine. He weighs about 12 pounds more than me, but ain't nothing. I'm going to lay some ass whooping. I don't know.
If he would have just stayed at the restaurant and eaten a little bit more, he might have been able to gain that 12 pounds.
There you go. Well, he's a little unsure what he's going to lay. He's going to lay some ass whooping here. It looks something like, so we'll see how it goes.
Got some nice-looking tattoos there. We're underway with what is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds.
Well, that Robsen kid comes out real aggressively with a nice shot at Ploehn. Looks to be a pretty good wrestler. Gets his hips back and defends it nicely.
Yeah, trying to get a takedown here, but fighting it off pretty well is Ploehn. But now they're just tied up in the center of the ring, and finally they find themselves down on the mat.
Well, that was a nice little takedown the Robsen kid did. A little sweep. Trips him down to the mat. He's got a half mount now.
Now he tries to swing that leg over. It almost went too far and enables Ploehn to go all the way over.
Ploehn did a nice hip elevator. He's got him in a head and arm, which is a high school wrestling move. He lets it go and starts punching a little bit.
He's going to take the opportunity to throw some big right hands here, and Ethan trying to work those ropes out of the way so they can continue to fight on. Nice little reversal here on the part of Robsen, too.
Both these guys doing a nice job of checking positioning. Looks like Ploehn's focusing on getting that key lock there, but doesn't have any position secured. Pretty evenly matched out here, though, so far.
And Robsen, I thought he was going to continue to work for a takedown, gets thrown against the ropes, and now makes his way back over. And here comes Ploehn to make his way around the backside of Robsen.
This Ploehn kid, you can see the physicality of him. He's a strong kid, and he's working it to his advantage. They're nice knees over the head.
Not afraid to throw just about anything. He's got a lot in his arsenal, and a lot of times when you see a guy get in the ring for the first time, they forget about the fact that they've got knees and elbows and things to use in a no-holds-barred match.
Now you can see both these guys have a little bit of experience, whether it be wrestling competitively or fighting on the street. You can see both these guys have at least been in a competitive arena before.
Now halfway through this first round, scheduled for 3, and it's been a pretty good exchange back and forth each direction. Might be a tough one to score at this point, though.
That kind of makes you wonder how the People's Warrior would have stood in with these guys. Either one of these guys. These guys look pretty solid.
Now Ploehn working for what looks to be a choke hold to see if he can lock that on.
And we talked about this before, Tim. He needs to get some positioning, secure his position, get his hooks in there, get his legs secured, and then work for the choke.
Now, when you say get their hooks in there, we haven't really described that or defined that for our viewers, but you're talking about getting their legs wrapped through there and actually hooking their feet around the leg.
Hooking their opponent's leg. That way they can't get their hips out to the side and escape. It looks like Robsen tapped there. He's taking a little bit of a beating there from behind and tapped out.
Robsen was in a bit of trouble. Down on the ground, didn't have any leverage to get himself out of it, and just was not willing to lay there and continue to take those blows to the head. So you're right. He taps with under a minute left in the first round.
Well, we said in the show open, here's your Mountain High Motorsports Combat Cam. We said in the show open, though, that we had a lot of injuries this round. We had some guys that just went on vacation. And here's your champion, man, Brandon Ploehn. First-time fighter, is the champion of round 5 of the Ultimate Combat.
So a bit of a surprise and some congratulations to Brandon Ploehn of our no-holds-barred match to get things started this evening. Post-fight interviews tonight sponsored in part by Mad Dog 102.3, the best of rock.
Hey, we're here with Brian Robsen. Is that how you say it, Brian? Okay, man. First time in the ring. You came out the loss, but it was a good time. What happened tonight?
It was a great time. I mean, I went out there, gave it my all. I kind of jumped into this thing at the last minute, Next time I'll get in a little bit better shape, maybe come back and try it again in a month or so. I'll be ready to rock.
Okay, so you say the next time we're going to see some different results?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, we're excited to see you back, man. We'll see you again.
Here's what Brandon had to say, sponsored by Ronin Wrist.
Okay, I'm standing in the ring, and this guy starts coming in the ring. I'm not even fighting him, and I started to get scared. It's not natural. This guy's huge. He's a horse.
I appreciate that.
Hey, what do you think about your fight?
Well, it was great. I came to spill some blood. Call me the doctor. I came to draw it all, but we didn't get too much, unfortunately.
You landed your fair share of bombs.
It was fun.
That guy's not going to forget about you anytime soon.
I hope not. But there's a lot of training ahead of me, so.
Okay, question. You going to come back and fight for us again?
Oh, definitely. Just give me a few days to get pumped up again. I'll be here next week, hopefully.
Right on. We'll take a look at this guy. I don't know. A lot of guys going to want to get in with him. Good job. Robert, I was sitting ringside of that, man, and the whole section was going, ugh, every time he was landing some big shots.
Yeah, he was a big boy, man, and he looked like something. He was putting something in his potatoes.
Well, Colorado beats California. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience, right? More of it coming up. All right, we got a no-holds-barred match, and this is what we talked about in the opening of the show. We've had a couple guys that have gone down to injury, so tonight we've got two guys who have actually lost in this round fighting for the title.
Hey, they're getting in the ring. That says a lot.
And I have to say, both these guys, I feel, are deservedly so in the finals. They're both tough kids, but you got Ivan Taylor against William Calhoune in a lightweight no-holds-barred matchup. Check this one out.
As Mike said, both of these guys very deserving of getting in here on a championship night in a lightweight, no-holds-barred fight. And these guys, Mike, their size certainly is not indicative of their strength and their determination.
No, it certainly isn't. We've seen Ivan the Terrible Taylor fight quite a few times. He's had his successes and he's had his losses, but most recently he lost in the flyweight division against Adam Faulkner, so he bumped up a weight class to get into the finals.
He's 5'11" and 150 pounds, and looks like he brought some friends with him along ringside tonight. He's got some fans.
Well, I don't know. My brother come up with it. Everybody's heard Ivan the Terrible, so may as well be the next one. No, not really. I came in last week. I wasn't even ready. I showed up and I had to get in the ring. I still put on a good fight. I just got caught up in an arm lock. That sure as hell ain't going to happen tonight. You're next. That's it. You're next.
So he's learned something from his first and only experience in the ring, evidently.
I hope he's not saying he's next to put him in an arm lock.
He'll be working to fight that off, see what he's learned from that last time in. And here's William, likes to be called Chaotic Calhoune.
Williams had his roundabout in this tournament as well. He's tried kickboxing, he's tried NHB. None of it's worked out, so he's dropping down a weight class because there was a vacancy due to injuries in this weight class. So both these guys coming from a roundabout way to meet up in the finals tonight.
5'8", 165 pounds. Yeah, you're right. He has struggled a little bit, but it's nice to see him continue to get in here, try and learn from those past experiences and win one.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm really ready this time. I trained a lot harder. I feel a knockout tonight, hopefully. I don't want to get too big of a head. Last time we saw what happened. It was past my bedtime. Yeah, I'm going to try to stand up this time, not go to the ground. Hopefully it pays off. So, just come out swinging. That's all.
That's one way to describe it. Past my bedtime.
Put him to sleep, man.
Yeah, he did.
I love that Calhoune kid.
Yeah, we'll see if he fights. Didn't he fight with socks on the last time? And I kind of questioned that, but maybe he'll leave the socks off. And he brought that tank top T-shirt.
Those are his lucky socks, I think, Tim.
No, he's got them back on tonight, doesn't he? All right, let's see what happens here. I expect these guys to really mix it up, at least early on.
Well, Calhoune's a pretty good boxer. We saw it when he was in the kickboxing arena. He nice straight punches, very patient. Looks like he's trying to do some of that here in the NHB.
Yeah, and it also looks like Ivan the Terrible isn't afraid to stand toe-to-toe and try a little of that himself, although now he's trying to get a takedown on Calhoune.
Well, Calhoune's got a little bit of a, he's trying to put a front choke on. He's got the arm encircled there. He's not going to get that, but he's definitely making Ivan a little angry, if nothing else.
Wow, Calhoune now looking to the referee, wondering whether there was anything wrong with putting fingers in his eyeballs there on the part of Taylor, but you're not going to get much help from Lonnie Foster in the middle of an NHB fight.
No, and now we reverse situations here where Ivan's trying to put that front chokehold on. He puts the arm encircled as well and doesn't have any leverage either. Calhoune able to take him down now finally.
Just bounced him off the ropes right out into the middle of the ring, and now he takes a full mount position here.
And he's going to take full advantage of it, too. You know, it appears to be inadvertent anyway, but boy, that wife beater's getting ripped off.
I was going to say, there's not much left of that T-shirt, is there?
There isn't.
Oh. Now Calhoune holding on, keeping Ivan close to him to take away the advantage of being able to throw those right and left hands to the head.
One of the things we talked about earlier, Calhoune didn't secure his position, so he got reversed there, but he's holding him in his guard, doesn't really know how to finish him from here, though, but he's maintaining a pretty good defensive posture.
And again, we're about halfway through round number one. This one's scheduled for 3, and not any action at all going on right here.
Looks like
they're liking this, as a matter of fact.
Their friendship here.
Yeah, they'll love to hear us say that, won't they? Now Calhoune starts to try and work his way up the body on Ivan Taylor. Let's see if he's successful in getting out of this.
Well, you know, he needs to just get out. I mean, he's climbing up the body there, but he doesn't know how to finish a submission. So he just needs to try to get back out and get up on his feet. Well, both these guys are relatively good fighters.
Yeah, you would think both of them might prefer to fight on their feet the way this thing started, and having seen them both fight before, but satisfied right now and looking for some kind of an advantage, although nobody really working in that direction at the moment.
You know, my hat's off to both of these guys for wanting to fight as much as they do, but you would think by this point they would say, you know, submission has its advantages. I'm going to go in and learn some of that stuff, but they just don't for whatever reason.
Well, they've both, as we said leading into the fight, they've both been fallen victim to good submission holds in previous fights, so you're right.
Well, if William Calhoune would just slip his foot over the head of his opponent, he could put an arm lock on here, this fight would be over. But
I don't know what we got going here, but it's a good thing we're coming to the end of round number one because they're tied up in knots.
You should see the look on Lonnie Foster's face there.
Just wondering what we got ourselves into.
Yeah.
All right, Calhoune's finally decided that T-shirt's not going to do him any good, so he passes that on to the corner.
Yeah, you see your Mountain High Motorsports combat cam here. William Calhoune forcing the takedown, but then just didn't know what to do once he got him down.
And the rest of the round really was just tied up and rolling around without a whole lot of action or advantage on either side.
Just hugging and squeezing and enjoying each other's company.
Speaking of hugging and squeezing.
Goodness, yeah. Throw that in the mix and you got a party.
Neither one of these guys look any worse for the wear, though, coming out of round number one, so they should be pretty fresh here as we start round number two.
I would expect to see a little bit stand up from these guys. Well, it looks like Ivan wants to shoot a takedown, but he doesn't have enough submission to really do much damage.
Wow, he made a mistake in missing with a left hand, and Calhoune saw an opportunity and threw a big right hand to the side of the head.
Nice punch over the top there by Calhoune. And a kick a little bit low, but it looked like it was blocked low.
These two are doing a fair amount of talking back and forth, too. In between throwing some of those blows, they're assuring the other fighter, oh, boy.
He caught him there.
Yeah.
I've seen Ivan fight quite a bit. He does a lot of talking in the ring.
Taylor, it looked like, thought maybe he was going to get some help from Lonnie with a low kick, but certainly should have just answered that with some counterpunch or something, because Calhoune came right back with a right leg that almost made it to the square on the face there.
And Calhoune's putting the squeeze on that neck there again, and Ivan Taylor, if he was smart, he would put his left hand on Calhoune's left side and scoot out to the side there a little bit. He just doesn't understand that.
Both of these guys will no doubt see this in replay and think about the opportunities that they had while they were on the ground, and will probably come back as better fighters the next time for watching it.
I sure hope so. I hope this motivates them to get in and learn some submission. These guys are tough. Don't get me wrong. These guys have all the heart it takes, but they just don't have the skills. And one way to get it is get into a gym, any gym, and learn this stuff.
Well, one of the problems they both have, too, is they think they've got the opportunity for submission, and what they actually end up doing is just exerting a whole lot of energy that hurts them in the later rounds.
Exerting energy, and they expose themselves. That's what we've seen with both these guys against superior fighters. They try something that's really nonsensical, and then they expose themselves to a submission themselves.
Ivan trying to decide whether he uses that left hand to work the arm out from underneath his neck or throw punches. Now he decides the punching is the way to go. And they both make their way back to their feet. I don't know what Ivan was trying to do there, but he missed.
He was trying to climb up on top in there, and Calhoune just kind of dumps him.
William Calhoune, for the third time in this fight, looks over to Lonnie Foster, the referee, as if to say he's unsure that of something that just occurred, whether it was legal or not. But he's just wasting his time in a no-holds-barred match looking for some help there.
Well, you can see both these guys, the tank's getting a little low here, especially Ivan. He's showing it very physical. He's tired. Trying to get a little breath here, and maybe hopefully we'll see a nice flurry at the end of the round. If this thing goes to the judges' scorecard, Tim, as awkward as they've been, it's a tough fight to score because there really isn't any semblance to what they do, offensively or defensively.
I'm not sure Ivan even has the strength to get his hands up in a defensive position, and that should open the door wide open for Calhoune to throw the punches that he likes to throw so much.
Well, looks like Calhoune sucked a little air too, and unfortunately, if either one of those guys had enough wind at that point, they could have done some serious damage because both opponents were just kind of hanging on.
They're going to get some help here from the bell at the end of the second round. We said he likes to talk. He also likes to give that look, doesn't he?
Got the stare down there, man.
Right at the end of the second round. Here's some of that second round action. And there's what Ivan thought was a low kick.
He didn't get kicked in the groin. It might have got him on the hip a little bit there. This the Mountain High Motorsports combat cam must be broken. We just had a combat cam going there.
So both of them in their corners. I don't think there's a whole lot of instruction going on, but they're just trying to catch their breath and figure out where their advantages might be coming out for the third and final round here. And they certainly need to show something to the judges if it goes to a judge's scorecard.
Yeah, this is a close fight. You know, there's not really been a dominant fighter. I think I'd give a nod to Calhoune. He's landed some bigger shots. That was a nice punch over the top. Just grazed Calhoune by Ivan Taylor.
Ivan made some good contact to the chin, though, and maybe that's where Ivan thinks he's got opportunities. We'll see.
Calhoune does need to get those kicks up a little higher. He keeps landing just below the belt line. They haven't landed in the groin area, but they keep going a little bit low.
And again, Calhoune looking and talking to Lonnie Foster. I'm not sure what he's arguing about, but unhappy about something. And the fight continues. Calhoune is busy having a conversation with Lonnie, who's not really talking back to him much.
You know, Calhoune reminds me of my wife, complaining all the time, man.
Well, that'll get you in trouble when you get home, Mike. If she wasn't before, she will be today.
Yeah. He's mad at something.
He continues to talk to Lonnie Foster. And he's just like my mother. He uses his hands when he talks, which is a bad idea when the fight continues to go on.
Really. He's trying to put the squeeze on here again. And again, this is uncomfortable, but it's not something that should submit a very good fighter. Particularly with the arm encircled. You just don't have the leverage to choke your opponent out.
Well, you can tell that Ivan is just out of gas. He's attempting to throw some punches there, but there's nothing behind them. Nothing certainly that's going to make Calhoune release that hold.
Well, it made Calhoune stop complaining from the
Yeah, he did that. I guess he did.
Maybe he was too tired to complain.
About 90 seconds left in this fight. We'll see who has the fight left in him to finish this match.
Kind of what we talked about earlier, just a whole lot of holding on here, not much action.
Calhoune really thinks he's got something going here, but
you know what, though, Tim? It's a good time to bring up. If you think you can take these guys, get in there and try it out, man. It's not as easy as it looks. And we are at DV8's now starting up this Saturday. DV8's a private club for members only, downtown Salt Lake City. And you guys want to check out the fights, man, come see us and we'll get you in the ring and you can be fighting either William Calhoune or Ivan Taylor anytime soon.
And if you don't want to fight, we'd love to have you just along ringside. It's always a lot more fun to be right here as the action builds for Ultimate Combat and the Ultimate Combat experience.
You say that when there's not a whole lot of action going on right here, but believe me, the live show, there is a lot of action, a lot of pretty girls running around, and it's a lot of fun.
But when you get a chance to see the faces of those ringside, look at the smiles. They're still having a good time. Well, we've got about 20 seconds left in this fight. Calhoune doesn't appear that he's going to release that hold, and Ivan Taylor not doing much to get out of that at all. So in the judges' eyes, does a situation like this then bode well for William Calhoune?
Well, you would think so, because he's had him in that uncomfortable submission position for the entire round.
Now we get a break from it, and Ivan Taylor starts to get active, but you know what? Fight's over.
That's the most energy I've seen in 9 minutes.
Why wait till the bell at the end of the third round to do this?
I thought they were tired.
You're not so terrible if you can't do it while the clock's ticking in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing for me to see, because these guys didn't do a darn thing for the last 6 minutes at least, and then all of a sudden they got all that energy.
And Ivan appears to be mad that he got caught up in that hold, but he should have done something about it long before now.
Well, your Mountain High Motorsports Combat Cam is back in action. That was the only action we saw, was after the bell. And Lonnie Foster got his paychecks worth right there.
I was about to say, Lonnie almost got the worst of the fight in the last, or after the final bell had rung.
These guys would have got the worst of the fight if Lonnie had gotten in. That guy's a tough guy, Lonnie Foster.
Well, it's going to be Calhoune, so just as we expected, at least he was the one locking on the holds, a little more active in it. William Chaotic Calhoune is your winner tonight. You know he's a happy boy after his experiences in weeks past here at Ultimate Combat.
He's the champ.
Let's get some post-fight interviews sponsored by Mad Dog 102.3.
And I'm here with Ivan the Terrible. Hey, what happened in there? Tell me what you think happened.
I beat him. Plain and simple, I beat him.
So you think you beat him? Why do you think you beat him? What did you think you do to beat him?
I did more work. All he did was hold me. He got a couple good kicks in, but other than that, he didn't do a damn thing.
So does this got to happen again?
Oh, it will happen again.
And here's our winner's comment, sponsored by Ronan Risk Security.
All right, William, you got the victory. Your corner's happy. Everybody else is a little bit upset. Tell me about the fight. Do you think it was controversial? Tell me about it.
Hey, man, the guy fought good, man. It was a good fight. That's the hardest fight I've ever done in my life, man. I got no complaints. Hey, I'm happy to win. Thanks a lot for having me. Like I said, the guy was a great fighter, man. I'm tired.
Well, Williams, his corner's over here saying he wasn't good enough. So we'll see William again. You're the champ. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, as you can see, neither one of them were real submission experts. Neither one of them were real knockout artists, but they're both tough kids. And William Calhoune comes out and what was somewhat of a controversial decision. How do you feel about it?
I would have given the win to him. I thought he won the fight.
I felt the same way. But he has a lot of crowd here cheering for him, and people didn't necessarily agree with the decision, but I think the right man won tonight. William Calhoune is your lightweight, no-holds-barred champion. It's kickboxing. Matt Kelson and Jason Schultz. What do you know about Matt Kelson out of the blue corner?
Well, Matt Kelsey's with the Rebel Squad. Hasn't had a whole lot of luck in the ring, but, you know, he's getting in here. He's got a lot of heart, so you'll see what happens.
He does, man. That kid's showing a lot of heart, and he's come a long ways since he started. Jason Schultz, we saw him destroy the competition last week. We'll see what he can do in the championships tonight.
Jason Schultz and Matt Kelson. It's a light heavyweight kickboxing match, our first kickboxing match of the night, and this guy likes to be called the Red Devil. He looks a little like that, as a matter of fact.
Oh, the Red Devil, we saw him fight last week, and he did. He looked really, really good last week. We'll see if he can carry it on this week in the championship match.
6'2", 185. He's an independent kickboxer out of Salt Lake City. I just love that little chin hair there that adds to the ambiance of the whole thing.
It's that devilish look, right?
It does indeed. Let's see what he had to say about tonight's matchup.
I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years. I'm a devil dog through and through. They've always called me Red. I got red hair. I'm the Red Devil. As far as fighting training, I don't really have any. I'm just going to go out there and be tough and put on a good fight. You better keep your guard up because I'm coming.
It's always amazing to me the number of guys that do get inside the ropes and admit openly that they have little or no official training for fighting. They're just tough guys.
Well, if you're going to learn how to fight, I guess the Marine Corps would be a pretty good place to learn it.
Here's his opponent tonight, Matt Roach Kelson.
How do you get a name like Roach?
I don't know.
We've seen Matt Kelson before. He's been in the NHB. He's been in the kickboxing. He's shown improvement each time. Hasn't won a fight yet, but he's shown improvement each time he stepped into the ring.
5'11" and 195. He comes in with the rest of that Rebel squad.
I'm not too worried about the reach advantage. I worked with it a couple of times before. I'm not too intimidated by it, not worried about it. Rebel Squad, Magna, how you guys doing? Saying hi to everybody.
Don't forget to say hi to Chris Rock.
Yeah, he's gonna like that one. He's gonna like that one.
We always have a little fun with the guys in the corner, don't we?
Yeah, that Rebel Squad, though, you know what? Anytime I need a fighter, I need to make one phone call. I call the Rebel Squad. They're Johnny on the spot. They're there ready to go, man. I give them all the credit in the world. And they're game fighters. They're not the best fighters we've seen, but they're game fighters.
The only thing we need to do now is get them a sponsorship so they can get a little better uniforms to come into the ring with.
You know, I expect to see good things out of them in the future here. They train hard and they fight hard. So one of the things you can't teach is heart. These guys have a bunch of that. Just get them a little more ring time.
Well,
they're working on getting it.
Kelson said he wasn't afraid of that reach advantage that he gave up to this opponent, and he's already landed 4 or 5 shots to the chin here.
Yeah, you know, we didn't see Jason Schultz's head snap back like that last week, but boy, Kelson's really landed some big shots already.
Wow.
Knocks him on the canvas.
There's a big leg kick that takes his legs out from under him, and Schultz is quick to stand up and let Ethan know he's okay, but he's still going to get that standing 8.
Looks like that headgear might be a little small for old Jason Schultz there.
Wow, he is really taking some punishment early on here, and Kelson doesn't even look like he's breathing hard.
Kelson never does show too much emotion there.
He is pretty stoic with that face. Well, he takes one to the chin there from Schultz. And you're right, that headgear is causing Red Devil a little problem here. He must be having a hard time fitting over those horns.
Must be getting it over that goatee there.
Kelson again makes good contact over the top with the right hand. And Schultz looks like he's in a good defensive posture, but not stopping many of those fists from getting through just like that right hand.
He has no head movement and doesn't block at all. He's got his hands up, but he doesn't use them to block.
Kelson again throwing right hand, left hand.
And then counter punches by Schultz. Is a nice little flurry here by both gentlemen.
Yeah, this is a fun match to watch, but again, it's Schultz who finds his way down on the mat, and Ethan, it looks like, is not going to rule this one a stumble. He's going to give him another 8.
Well, you could have called that either way. He did go down as a result of the punch. It's a good call by Ethan Andrews. Fine referee and a fine fighter himself.
And Kelson showing some pretty good combinations, kicking low. Getting hands over the top.
Action-packed first round there, Tim.
That was fun to watch. A little bit of blood there coming out of the nose of Kelson. I don't think it's too much damage.
Now here's your Mountain Eye Motorsports combat cam, and some big shots early on in the round there. Sent Jason Schultz back across the ring.
Kelson just getting a lot of those hands through there, as we said, and that's the second time that the Red Devil finds his way down on one knee.
And I'm not sure that those are such accurate punches, or if Jason Schultz just doesn't move his head.
You know, it appears he got rocked a little bit that first time he went down, and he's never really shown the stability on his feet that he had starting this fight. So maybe he got dinged a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good observation, Tim. I don't think he really has come back from that first knockdown.
Comes back out here, but boy, he just leaves himself wide open for right-hand, left-hand combinations from Kelson, who has no stop in him. He's going to chase him all the way into the other corner.
Hey, in this 18-by-18 ring, there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, boy.
Red Devil doing nothing here but backing up and continuing to take blows from Matt Kelson.
And it looks like Matt Kelson's representing the Rebel squad, might be taking him to their first victory.
Another combination lands.
Kelson's doing a nice job, just staying patient, not wasting any energy, and really surgically taking this kid apart.
Well, he doesn't have too much to fear, it doesn't look like at this point. This is a completely different Jason Schultz than we saw the last time.
Well, it certainly was, but I would venture to say Matt Kelson's probably a little bit tougher opponent. Nice left hand sends old Jason Schultz to the canvas once again.
And I'm not sure he knows where he's at this moment. We'll see. Ethan's going to give him a close look in the corner. Matt Kelson doesn't look like he's the one leading this fight when you look at a close-up shot.
He always bleeds, though. He tapped that nose, and he's bleeding.
We got a bleeder over in this corner. Not sure what's going on here. He's being sent back to...
he's got his wraps coming off on his ankle there, and he's going to have him get those fixed up.
In the meantime, what's going on with Jason Schultz?
Well, you know, unfortunately for Kelson, Jason's getting a little extra recovery time here.
Yeah, because he really had him in a bad way.
Well, there's an equipment timeout. They should have stopped the clock. Apparently, they didn't do that, so...
They'll restart here with about 9 seconds, 8 seconds left in this second round, and it doesn't stop Kelson at all, who comes right back. More of a push than a punch there, and Ethan recognizes that.
Yeah, it was a good no call there. It was a push.
Clearly, I would say at the end of the second round that Matt Kelson has won himself at least the first and second, don't you think?
Very decisively. You got to have at least 10-8 rounds with those knockdowns. The Mountain High Motorsports Combat Cam here shows the devastating punches that Matt Kelson's been able to land, and then Jason Schultz landed a couple of his own.
Jason's got a tough decision to make coming out here in the third, because it looks like at this point the only way he can defeat Matt Kelson is with a knockout, but that's going to have to will put him in a position to take a little more risk as well.
That's a nice shot there, isn't it? You want to see it up close and personal, they got you right there.
Well, there's another shot of what's going on in the corner there to get that cleaned up hopefully here in a little bit.
I could have done without it.
Third and final round, and we're 2 minutes away from sending this one to a judge's scorecard if it happens to go that far. But if Kelson can land a couple of more punches to the head, this one could be over sooner than that.
Well, Schultz steps right into that left hand, and then Schultz knocks Kelson down himself with a nice little front push kick.
Matt quickly raises his hands to let Ethan know he's okay, no problem. First time he's seen his butt on the mat, though, in this fight.
Well, maybe Jason Schultz does have a chance coming back here.
Well, he walks right into another right hand from Matt Kelson. By the time you say that, he gives up his chin one more time, and wow!
Maybe not.
That looks like that could end it. You can see Schultz getting up off the mat, shaking his head.
That was a big punch.
I wouldn't want to kiss you even without that blood, buddy.
That's a face only mama would kiss right there, man.
Well, looks like Schultz is going to come back out here.
This Schultz kid doesn't stop, does he?
Man. You saw him trying to shake it off as he made his way up off the mat. But
yeah, he takes a lick and keeps on ticking there.
He comes in to throw that right leg, and he just drops his left hand. And Kelson doing a good job of seeing that opportunity and seizing it.
Well, you can see that inexperience he talked about in the pre-fight interview there. He brings those hands out every time he punches. But he's a tough kid, man. You can't take anything away from him. He's got a lot of heart.
He walked right into another right hand. The question now is, can Jason Schultz last this fight out for another 20 seconds? It looks like he's going to try.
If he does, he's scored a victory in my book. He's taken quite a punishment here tonight. But if he finishes this fight up, he can go home with his head up high.
He starts to raise that right leg, and his hands drop, and he puts himself right in another bad position for Kelson.
Yeah, that'll do it right there.
You're right, though, Mike. You got to hand it to this Red Devil. He to take that punishment early on and then fight his way all the way through the second and third rounds and go to the final bell is amazing.
Yeah, that was a nice job. You can see here in your Mountain High Motorsports Combat Cam how, boy, Jason Schultz took a couple right on the chin, you know. But I couldn't be happier for Matt Kelson. He's going to go home, bring the Rebel Squad their first victory and a championship victory, no less.
Rebel Squad's going to be awfully happy about this. I'm sure we'll see it when we finally make this announcement and get some post-fight interviews. Schultz covering up the nose, and look at there. Matt Kelson, the Roach, is your winner here tonight of this light heavyweight match. A lot of happy Rebel Squatters over there in the corner.
Over there in Magna, they're partying, tearing down the house.
Let's get some post-fight interviews sponsored in part by Mad Dog 102.3, the best of rock.
All right, hey, you came out, you did a good job. I mean, what do you think the difference was in the fight?
I think he's been in the ring a few more times. Jumped on me a little bit more than I expected he would. I'll do better next time.
Yeah, so you're going to come back. There'll be a next time?
Oh, I'll be a next time.
All right.
Let's see what Matt has to say, sponsored by Ronin Risk Security.
All right, Matt, what is it? Is it the Angel of Anarchy or is it Roach?
It's Roach, the Angel of Anarchy himself. Didn't you see the shirt?
I saw the shirt, but I was a little confused. Last time you were yelling Roach, you were claiming Angel of Anarchy, so I want to clear that up. Anyways, you're the champ. You know, tell us about the fight tonight.
Hey, man, you know what? I came out here a few weeks ago. I thought I was I got worked, man. I got worked. I got my ass in the gym, took care of my and this is what I came out with.
All right, we'll keep the S-bombs out of this program, but there you have it. Matt Kelson is a champ. What do you got to say, Matt?
I just want to thank my grandpa, Wade. Thank you very much.
You know, Derek, is oftentimes I'm running around, I didn't get a chance to see that thing. What happened?
A war. It was an all-out war, Mike. I mean, they beat the crap out of each other. Put bluntly.
So Matt Kelson came out on top. He's our light heavyweight kickboxing champion.
He is. He has a lot of heart. They didn't stop swinging the whole time.
We talked about it beforehand. He has a lot of heart. Hey, there's your champion, Matt Kelson, the light heavyweight kickboxing. Stick around. We got a lot more coming up. Hi, Matt. A fight I've personally been wanting to see in quite some time. Chago's been talking about the Saint, Keith Semken, all round long. He's been calling him out. And, of course, we know what Keith Semken can do. We've seen him drop a lot of big kicks on people.
Keith Semken's going to come with those legs. You know, he's always aiming for the head. I don't see him throw many leg kicks, but he's always aiming at the head.
And landing him, man. It's your main event tonight, kickboxing middleweight division.
Mike, you pointed out a second ago that we've never had a main event kickboxing match, but I would think if there was ever one that was qualified to be a main event, this one would be it.
We've had some great kickboxing matches in this tournament, but none have really been built up as much as this one. Pollock has been eyeballing that Keith Semken. They fought before, they went the distance, and Pollock, every victory he's had so far, he says, I want a piece of the Saint. I'm coming after him. So.
6 feet, 165, training at Amy's Martial Arts. It's been a while since we've seen him, but knowing Keith, he's probably been in the gym most of that time.
I assure you he has, man. He just gets better and better every time we see him fight.
My training's been staying the same. A little bit of it's impacted me a little bit just not being in the ring for so long, but you know I'm feeling confident. I'm really excited about this fight. I fought Juan before and went all 3 rounds. We had a decision. This will test our skills, see how much better we've improved and stuff. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to this fight and to see how much I've improved, see how much Juan's improved. So.
Always such a soft-spoken guy, and he likes to joke about the fact that when you see him in his glasses, it's almost that Clark Kent appeal.
You know, Tim, you just don't meet that many nice guys in the fight game, and Keith Semken is just every bit a gentleman. I love having that kid in our show.
Last week we saw another member of the Pollock family, Zoe, as she likes to be called, fighting, and this week it's her cousin Juan, Chago Pollock.
You think they sit around the breakfast table and make up nicknames for each other, Tim?
Probably fighting over the food, and I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that.
Yeah, really.
5 feet 10, and he trains at the Ultimate Combat Training Center. But again, you see Jimmy coming into the ring with him here. This kid takes it very seriously, and I've really enjoyed watching him fight.
There's Big Jimmy, man. There's no better supporter in your corner than Jimmy.
Well, like you said, I've been waiting for it, waiting to get back in there with Keith. He's been the toughest one I've fought so far. And I've been the only one that's went 3 rounds with them all the way. All his other opponents he's knocked out, so hopefully I can knock him out tonight. Well, I'm thinking about going in there and trying to take that trophy from him. I don't think he needs another championship under his belt. So I'm going to go in there and fight my heart out, try and take it from him. You know what, with Keith I can't give you no predictions because he's a good fighter. So hopefully it'll be in the first, but that's not a prediction. I'm just saying hopefully.
Well, he's being real careful about what he says, isn't he?
He sure is. You don't want to make the Saint mad, I guess.
And that's funny coming from Juan because we've seen him in the ring when he loves to taunt his opponents, but
sure
not
does.
tonight.
I've never seen Juan at a loss for words like that.
Not tonight. Let's see how this one goes. We have really been looking forward to this one. 3 2-minute rounds.
The last time we stumped him was when Robert asked him if him and Jimmy go jogging again. He said, Jimmy don't jog.
Jimmy don't jog. Yeah, both of them going to throw some kicks here. You know, Semken's not shy about that. He gets one, he gives one back.
Nice open to this first round. These guys both come out firing.
And that's the one thing you'll notice different, I think, probably than the last time Juan fought Keith, and that is that he'll use his legs a lot more in this fight than he probably did the last time.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Both these guys have come a long way, but look, you see how patient Keith is being right here. He's waiting for Chago to leave something open, and he'll execute.
Front push kick there, and Juan a little bit too close to throw that right hand, and Keith now counterpunching, coming back on him. Look at that, though, taking a couple of blows to the head that lead Semken to do nothing more than cover up.
Chago does a nice job of throwing hook punches. He's got to throw some uppercuts and some straight punches to complement him, though.
The thing most opponents do, and I know Chago won't do this tonight, but the thing most opponents do with Keith is underestimate his toughness.
Yeah, the other thing you see Chago do that I don't like to see, every time he kicks, his hands drop, that we talked about in the earlier kickboxing match. Chago does that a little bit as well.
Semken now doing a lot of work to the body, and Chago just covering up again in the corner.
You can see Semken's strategy here is to soften the body up here in the first round, and he's going to look to knock him out in the later round.
A couple of combinations getting through there for Pollock, although it doesn't look like it's even phasing Keith at this point.
Semken is in such great shape. You know, you're really going to have to put one on the button to slow him down.
Pushing Pollock up against the ropes there. Good shot right in the corner where our camera is, and so you get up close and personal with what it looks like having one of those fists come at you.
You see Keith Semken, though, he's one of the few guys that can come out here and fight 3 tough rounds. He'll put everything into it, all 3 rounds. He's in great shape. He's well prepared. Chago looking to knock him out earlier with that big kick there. Not enough on it, though.
A spinning back kick that missed, and he just set himself up on the other side of it. And at the end of that round, he's still going to get a standing 8 from Ethan, our referee.
You know, he was off balance. It was one of those flash knockdowns that could have been called either way, but he did go down as a direct result of the punch, and so Ethan did call it a knockdown.
Round 2 when we come back on the Ultimate Combat Experience. Getting ready now for round 2 of the Ultimate Combat Experience. It is our second installment of Fights from Finals Night of SummerSlam 2003. Keith Semken and Juan Pollock going at it. A good fight so far.
A good fight so far. Keith Semken scoring a knockdown at the end of the first round there should give him at least a 10-9 round, if not a 10-8. I'd have to give him the rest of the round as well. In my scorecard, it'd be a 10-8 round.
Well, you got to like Juan's aggressiveness here, but he's just lunging with those punches and ends up putting himself in a very precarious position.
And we talked about it a little bit earlier. He just throws hook punches. He's got to work his jab. He's got to get straight punches in there to set those things up. He keeps coming from the outside. Keith Semken's a little bit taller than him. It's going to be tough to land those shots.
And very patiently, Semken just waiting for that flurry to pass from Juan Pollock, knowing he's not going to get damaged too badly, and then he comes back and starts to counter punch.
Nice work there by Keith Semken. You know, that shows the maturity that he's gotten in the ring there. He waits and he watches for that big, deep breath from his opponent, which means that's the end of that flurry, and he counter punches. Really nice, patient work by Keith Semken.
You know, we talked about the conditioning of Keith Semken. Just look at his breathing right now compared to the opponent and compared to other fighters you've seen even on the show tonight. Mouth shut, just breathing through his nose, very patiently, waiting for the opportunities here.
Well, looks like he's trying to go a little head hunting here in the second round. He's throwing that kick up to the head, whereas in the first round he was kicking primarily to the body. But he's looking to end this fight now. He's throwing a couple to the head this round.
Juan pushing him back out into the center of the ring here, off of the ropes. Semken follows him right back into the corner and continues to be the aggressor.
Well, I think Semken senses that he's got Juan either hurt or he's out of gas, because he's starting to look at those big shots there. You saw that uppercut he just threw, just missed with it, but it was a heavy shot with bad intentions behind it.
Well, and you saw there, Juan tried to put a front push kick out there towards Semken, but he didn't even get it up high enough to do anything about it. So you're right. I think he just doesn't have much left in the tank here with 9 seconds left in the second round.
Yeah, he's still trying to showboat a little bit, but there's just not enough on those punches. And now Keith Semken landed a nice big roundhouse to the head to finish the round.
There was a sign of the fatigue on Pollock's part, too. He missed with the right hand, spun himself around, and did not put himself back into position to defend himself. And right here
in your Mountain High Motorsports Combat Cam, boy, you see that big right foot landing to the chin of Juan Pollock.
Now just hoping to get out of it with very little or no damage. He needs to. You just don't want to turn your back on your opponent, whether that's Keith Semken or the guy next door.
Yeah, it's a bad, ill-advised technique there.
Jimmy doing a fair amount of talking to him there in the corner as we get ready to come out for the third and final round.
Well, you know, Juan Pollock comes out firing away once again. The third round, he knows he's got to do something special here in the third round to win the fight, and he's bound and determined to do it. Keith Semken patiently waiting, is waiting for that big deep breath and counters.
This is what I like about Keith too. Even though he must know that he's ahead on the judges' scorecard, he's not going to leave it up for the judges. He comes out and he's not just going to lay back. He's going to still continue to fight very aggressively.
Well, you know, you see so many strange things happen in the fight game that you really can't ever leave it up to the judges if possible. And Keith Semken, he came to fight, and he's going to get all 3 rounds in if he can.
Punching up high, punching down low, working both the body and the head here and then throws in a kick for good measure. But Pollock fighting most of this fight up against the ropes.
I think this begs the question, who is this Amy that Amy's martial arts? She must be a bad woman.
Yeah. I have to admit, the first time I saw that he trained at Amy's martial arts, I thought, well, that doesn't sound very tough, does it?
Whoever it is has really prepared their man well. That Keith Semken's landing just about everything he throws. He's like a surgeon out there. Accurate punches, accurate kicks, and solid.
Watch the left hand of Juan Pollock here as we get to within the 20-second mark of this fight being over. Look at how low the left hand is. He'll bring it up once in a while to throw a punch. The rest of the time, it's wide open for that right hand right there.
You know, and I guess he was expecting Ethan Andrews to step in, and there's no reason for Ethan to step in, and so Keith Semken just reached up and punched him.
I really expected, just from seeing Keith fight before, particularly in this situation, that he would be looking to throw some of those big kicks to the head here.
You know, I think he noticed what you noticed, that left hand being down, and just looking to throw that 1-2 right over the top.
Left hand's up on Pollock now. 8 seconds left in the fight. And backing up up against the ropes.
He's going to finish the third round like he finished the first and second with a nice flurry. And Keith Semken, I'm sure, is going to be your champion once again. I believe this is 3 rounds in a row for him.
You saw these guys show a little, not a little, they showed respect for each other as soon as the fight was over. We don't always see that, but you saw it in the pre-fight interviews. You'll see it in the post-fight actions here of both of these guys.
You see in your Mountain High Motorsports Combat Cam, that 1-2 we talked about, just coming over the top, you know. And of course, Keith Semken realizes Juan Pollock is a game opponent. He's given him the best challenge that he's had in this tournament so far, so of course he's got good respect for this kid.
A little smile on his face. I think he knows what's coming here. And once again, your champion is Keith the Saint Semken, but that fight was everything we wanted it to be. A lot of action, give and take on both sides.
That was a fun fight to watch, and again, we don't see many kickboxing matches that really have the excitement in them to be a main event fight, but that certainly was that.
Here's what Chago had to say. Post-fight interview sponsored by Ronin Risk Security.
All right, we're here with Juan. Juan, I know personally how hard you trained for that fight. I know how disappointed you must be. Tell me about it. You fought your heart out. Tell me about the fight.
Like I said, he's a tough fighter. But this ain't the end of it. I'll be back for him next round.
Well, you kicked the crap out of all the other opponents in this round, and your mission was to get the Saint. I think you just about got it, so you're saying you're going to be back. You'll take him down the next time?
Next round, I'll be back. I think the next round's the last round before the championship, so I got to do it then.
Okay. Well, nothing to hang your head about, Juan. It was a good fight. Another great champion here at the Ultimate Combat. We'll see you next time, Juan.
All right, thanks.
And a chat with your champion is sponsored by Mad Dog 102.3, the best of rock.
All right, here with Keith Semken, a winner. What happened? What'd you do?
Just got in there, fought a tough man, Juan. He's improving a ton. He's a great fighter. I'm glad I fought him for the championship. He's a worthy opponent. Got in there, I did my business, stuck with my guns. I was very patient. I'm proud of myself for being patient. Hopefully next time I can put him out.
Chago wanted that thing bad, but you know what? The Saint, a little bit too much, man. That kid is a tough kid. That's your main event tonight. Hey, it's the Ultimate Combat Experience. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out next time.
And, of course, next time you can join us, same time, same place, 10 o'clock Sunday nights on Utah's new UPN Z24 TV. And, Mike, if they want to join us for the live event, we're headed to Club DV8.
You know, you hate to see the end of SummerSlam 2003. We've had a great time here at Dimitri's, but DV8 is where we all started. It started from. It used to be the old Club Escape. Man, what a great venue for fights. It's like you're in the Roman Coliseum. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We'll see you next time for the Ultimate Combat Experience. Check us out on the web at www.ultimatecombat.com.